Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode. It's a very different episode to what we normally do. This is kind of the announcement video, episode 0 if you will, for another series I'm going to be releasing starting in March. It's a stealth camping series across places in Norfolk. We plan to start the first weekend in March, so the video will be coming out the week following that. We're going to have some guests on this series as well. Good friend Josh will be joining me on this first camp as well, and probably many more after that. So yeah, I'm really excited to try a different kind of avenue with outdoor content, getting out in the wild, spending the night in somewhat sketchy but stealthy locations. We've got about 6 locations marked out for the series so far, and like I said, we aim to try and get it weekly depending on time commitments, etc. But it does plan to be a weekly series. On to why we're going to be starting in March. I am also proud to announce that this series is going to be supporting the Royal British Veterans Enterprise, a charity which is in place to help, they do incredible work to help soldiers transition back into civilian life, supporting them. But also in March is one of their big charity events. Got the hat. It's the Great Tommy Sleep Out, where people all over the country have signed up to do it. They're going to be spending a night sleeping rough, tents, bivvies, bashers, tarps, to raise money for homeless veterans, to be able to supply them with much needed food, help, support, etc. This whole series is going to be based on that. Yes, the Great Tommy Sleep Out is only for March, but we're going to continue this series. The whole plan is to keep doing stealth camps, a series. So this will be series 1. Series 1 will end if and when we get caught. That's going to kind of be the cut-off point for the series, and then we'll move into series 2, series 3, and so on and so forth, finding locations. The reason I picked the charity, there's a couple of reasons. One is, to support our veterans, our heroes, our soldiers, kind of the ones which have been forgotten about, fought for this country, and now they're just left on the streets. There needs to be some more support for them, more help for them, aid, assistance. I've never been a soldier, I've never been in the forces. It is something I wanted to do, but certain life events made it was never meant to be. But I have plenty of friends in the forces, and that transition from speaking to them from military life to civvy life is tough, and I suppose it gets tougher for the people which suffer greatly with the traumatic events they've seen. Another reason for picking this charity in regards to the homeless side of things, I've been there before. Back in 2021 June, I look back June 21 on my Amazon order list. Luckily I wasn't in a bad a situation as a lot of people who find themselves on the streets, because I still had a job. I still went to work every day, so I could still afford I could afford to eat. I could afford to live to a certain regards, but certain things, I'm not going to go back into it because I've kind of left that in the past, but certain things in that timeline ended up me being homeless. Countless applications, like I had a job, full-time work, like I get paid quite well in my job, but through bad choices in the past, debt and things, I ended up every time I applied for house or flat, house, shared accommodation, flat sharing, house sharing, it was always hit with a no. It was just I think I counted back after I got out of homelessness. I counted back. I think I applied for over 100 house shares, flat shares, because I couldn't afford to live on my own. So it was, and every time it was rejected, it was a no. So yeah, going back to what I was saying, June 21, I look back on my Amazon purchase list from that month, and all it is tents, or a tent. I got myself a little one-man tent, a bag, which I'll put the pictures up of what I had. I had a military backpack, a camping stove, some gas, and enough clothes to cycle throughout the week. All in, and pretty much anything I could carry. I left a lot of stuff behind. I lost a lot of stuff from when I walked out of that house or walked out of that door. Unfortunately, I could never went back to get it. I lost a lot of stuff. I basically packed the essentials. With having a job, it allowed me to book a hotel room every Sunday, so there was that kind of goal. I'd go to work on a Monday, back in my tent on the Monday night, but there was always that Sunday kind of to keep positive, keep moving forward. Luckily work had showers, so that side was covered. But yeah, Sundays was always a trek into the city, into Norwich, wait for check-in, then go to the laundrette, wash all my clothes, come back, and then just relax, just so I had that view of I'm going to get a bed at least once a week. So yeah, I had it better than a lot of people that were homeless, but it was still a very challenging time. It took a lot of mental courage and mental strength to kind of get up, go to work. I mean, I didn't want to fall, I don't know if it sounds bad, but I didn't want to fall into the shop doorway sleeping, and go down because I've worked nightlife, I've worked a lot in the city, and you see a downward spiral. Working on the doors, you'd see new homeless people, because you'd begin to recognise them, but you'd see new people and see the downward spiral as it got worse and worse. So I chose not to do that. I chose to wild camp. I mean, I used to trek from the office out of the city. Probably took about an hour to trek to where I was camping, in some woodland. So that is where I kind of used to set up camp. It was a secluded life for, I think it lasted for about 3 months. It was a secluded life, like all I had was work and going to where I was camping. So it was a very hard time, but the very hard time led me to where I am right now, to this very day, which I'm always thankful for. It was a good life. Well, it's a good life now. It wasn't then, but that is why we're choosing to. Oh great, we've got some dog walkers come out in the field. It it was a hard time, but I'm also thankful for the hard times because it led me to this exact position with my partner. Making my allotment series, having stuff again, and having a kind of an awesome life. But that's the reason. Another reason I wanted to support a charity what supports homelessness. I know there's plenty out there what supports all kind of homelessness, and I'm not saying certain people who are homeless deserve more support than others, but I just thought, what the veterans, they're our soldiers, our heroes. They needed or need our support, which they should have got, really, at the end of the day. And I thought with wild camping, that would be the best bet for it. Camouflage, hiding, I thought it'd be a good fit. So yeah, that is my announcement video. Yeah, starting from March, that we'll be starting second week into March. So the first Friday will be our camp. Going into the second week will be our first release. So but yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, turn notifications on. I'm looking forward to getting this series going. It's been a pleasure. Catch you all again soon.